I have about an hour before lunch, and I'm nervous, I'm excited. I've been planning this for I've been thinking about it for months, but I've been planning it for a week, which ties into a problem I'll show you in a minute. Most people, when they fly paramotors, they just fly what in aviation they call out and back. They take off and land at the same field. All right, fine, that's cool. Most of my flights are like that. I have done the halfway step, taking off from a field, landing somewhere, eating breakfast. I've done that twice, and flying home, or maybe just going to another field and talking to people. And I've done that. What I haven't done is load up two-stroke oil, land at airports and gas stations, and actually go somewhere. And we picked a spot to go. Some high production quality right here. This is our flight path. My friends are mostly taking off at an airport roughly down here. Maybe in Nightdale down here. I'm taking off from my house roughly around here. Yes, now you've all seen it. And we have 3 fuel stops, not including the final one, where we end up here in Kitty Hawk. What's here is FFA, First Flight Airport. It's where Wilbur and Orville Wright flew the first airplane. This guy are airports. This third stop is just a gas station. And we might actually, if you can see my mouse here, go down and swing up, depending on how fuel and time looks, so that we have less time over water, which could be kind of deadly. And this spot here is not, I guess you won't die, but it's kind of swampy and there's no roads there. This spot over here, there are roads and it's a little better. But that's the mission. I've been worrying about fuel and luggage and all the things I need to be successful. Oh, we're gonna fly there, stay overnight at a hotel, and then fly back Saturday. Which reminds me, so this has happened to me before. I've made this mistake. I'll look at a 10-day forecast, build some plans, and then as that forecast comes into fruition, as we get closer, it gets worse. But, we've got plans and we're all set to do it, and we don't just cancel. So let me show you the weather. When I looked at this forecast 10 days out, it was this beautiful thing. If you can see, I hope the camera picks it up, these small little lines, that's the wind. So on the way there, here and here, we have a tailwind. Here we have almost none, but if you get to 2,000 feet, then the wind gets a little stronger. So check that out. We have a nice tailwind on the way out there. And then on the way back, we have a nice tailwind on the way back. It seems so ideal, right? There's a challenge though. If I move this over to where we're launching and slide it back down to 0, the wind is too fast. Down here, it bothers me even more, where it says even at sunrise, we're at 20 mile an hour per winds, which is too much to take off. We'll try to figure something out and keep ourselves safe. I don't want to get hurt. So there's no wind at all to help me get off the ground. I do have a slight downhill at the start of my run, and then it goes up. We'll see how that factors in. I'd really like to hit my first launch. I'm kind of hot and sweaty and nervous. I'm heavy with this extra oil and clothes, and I sure could use some para luck. I've been psyching myself out about this launch for days and the extra weight of it, but it really should be cool. I was 20 pounds heavier when I first got this wing, so this should be normal. Let's do this. Yeah, so that's my friend Ross, and this is the airport they're launching from. I've been flying for 5-10 minutes, and Ross just hit his first launch, which is cool. I know Ross brought a lot of oil, and he's heavy. So 2 out of 4 of us are in the air, and 2 out of 4 of us hit our first launch. I was almost expecting someone not to hit a launch, because it
It's just not that common to mess up a launch. Mark is a very good pilot, probably the best foot dragger like around. And I expect him to hit his launch, even though he has kind of a small wing. Looking for traffic. Came up a little left, fixed it. Oh, he's got this. He's past the hard part. Yeah, Mark. Very excited. So now the only guy left is Gabe. Gabe's a good pilot. But he is less experienced than the other three, and this might be his very first launch on that wing. He borrowed it. Oh, he inflated. Oh, he looks good.
Looks good, Gabe.
Looks good. So Gabe has a top 80, which is the weakest motor, and that makes it a little harder to launch. So he's not out of the woods yet. Oh, he did great. He launched, and I thought he was up. He had to run again, but he did. He wasn't a sitter. And now all four of us hit our first launch. So I'm not going to waste another ounce of fuel. I'm going to start heading to where we need to go. Going about 30 miles an hour, and off we go. All right, so we're at our first field here. I'm a little nervous about landing with all this weight and stuff, but I'm kind of committed, so we're doing it.
Future Woody here. So you probably know I broke my leg in August. I was paragliding, not paramotoring, but they're similar. Anyway, this is November as I record this, and I'm doing everything I can to make my landings as safe as possible. I want them to be gentle. That might mean letting someone else with healthy legs land first, you know, and learning from what they did. It might mean doing a go-around if everything doesn't look perfect. I was a lifeguard as a kid, and I saw people in the ocean just sort of jumping and re-breaking their legs. I saw it twice, because it had just come out of the cast and they thought they were okay and they weren't. So I'm trying not to be that guy. And that means doing everything I can to reduce my risk, you know, till December or something. You just give the thing a nice healthy period of babying, if you call this babying. So anyway, I'm coming in for my landing here and we're going to nail it.
A lot of lift right next to the ground.
I'd love some lift right next to the ground. Oh my God, that couldn't have gone better. That was so soft. Like a boss. All right, we've got the paramotors here. That's Mark Honeycutt. Oh, my lighting is terrible. I should know better. I'm a YouTuber. There we go. We have Gabe, whose top 80 barely climbs with his Blaze GT23, and Ross is here. Me. And oh yeah. So we've got a couple issues. The Blackhawk's broken, of course. I think that's
of course. Silencers.
Yeah. So
that wasn't even the issue I was worried about. It was this guy.
Right.
And now it's that.
He brought like extra gear oil because apparently this guy leaks and this guy.
How much gear oil did you bring? A quart.
Mine. Ross and I, the nitros are doing fine, but this guy, Gabe's Antique, has issues that he can barely climb. Okay. So he just sits there full throttle the entire time, and you know, he does his best.
Pretty much. No, I mean my full throttle's like 9700 RPM. I was at like 9,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay.
That's up there.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of reserve, you know.
And his launch.
5,700 RPM on these guys.
His launch, he ran, he got up. I was like, oh, cool. And then he ran, and then he got up. That's good, not a sitter. Anyway, so there's a aviation crew coming over. This is like, we're both, like, we came up with a name for our motorcycle gang. We're Hell's Aviators. So this is about to be a rumble. Here we go. Motor looks like it's doing well. I have this new prop. Usually they're 125 centimeters. This one's 130. The clearance at the bottom is super tight, but it's been working. I got a couple hours on it now. My belt is squealing a touch. Oh, it feels loose to me. I don't know if I can do anything about that. But by and large, everything is fine. My fuel level, you can see, I didn't start at 0. I started at like 10. If you look at the numbers on the side. So I started about there and I took it down to about 2. Anyway, put some gas in her, get going.
So I don't have footage of us actually gassing up, but I do have the next best thing, which is a still shot. So this is Ross's Paramotor. You can see Ross on his knees, and that guy in the blue shirt works at the airport. And this is how they fuel up planes. They drive the truck over to the plane, they take out that long hose, they fill it up. I think Ross paid for all our gas this stop, and we all filled up with ridiculously small amounts of fuel, usually like 1 gallon a Paramotor, sometimes even less. It was a neat experience. I had never refueled like on the road before, go down, fuel up, and keep going. It's just sort of not how people use Paramotors, but you can, so we are.
So now we're going to try the refuel process. In here, I should have some oil and a syringe. Now I put in about 3/4, so I need about 2 ounces maybe of oil. Oh, this is an issue. This thing's in milliliters. I need a conversion. It doesn't pull that fast, but I want to take this to about 20. Suck, suck, suck. And we'll inject it. Huh. Done. Now we'll mix it and fly. So everybody hit their launch on the last one to go. Sure could. It should be okay. There's a little headwind to help out. So I'm just gonna give this a go. All right. Well, that was awesome. A little bumpy, but we're good. All right, turn the motor off for you. Here's the situation. We finished the first stop. It went well. The people there were super nice, and we're headed to the second one. I'd say we're maybe on schedule, certainly not ahead of it. I'm going about, it varies between like 35 and 40 miles an hour with about a 10 mile an hour tailwind. So we're zooming on up, and it's bumpy. Not the bumpiest day I've ever had or anything, but it's a little bumpy, so I have to kind of stay on top of things and focus on my bump tolerance. It's noon, so it's going to be bumpy, but all is well. I'm going to gain some altitude. All right, I'll kill the motor for you. That's the airport. You can kind of see 2 white buildings, and the runway goes that way. I think with the wind, I'm going to have to turn around and land perpendicular to it.
Hey guys, I think my plan of action is to go a little past the hangars and then turn around and just land perpendicular to the runway.
Cheating like hell. There we go. That'll do. Nice and easy. Total success. I guess that's the fuel station there. I'll probably launch from in front of that hangar. All right, I'll sync up with you guys soon. Here comes Ross for his landing. That was outstanding. Ah, little extra lift. Perfect though. He's even going to set it down on its tail.
So we started at that little fuel pump because, that seemed appropriate. But it turns out this is where we fuel up our paramotors. It looks overkill, but that's where like the credit cards work, and we're gonna get some avgas and I guess take off.
All right. So I'm launching across the tarmac here. It's not the best idea I've ever had. I thought I was going to go this way like I landed, but the wind is coming this way. As a matter of fact, there's a little cycle right now. It would be nice to take advantage of that. It's a mix between using the proper wind and rushing yourself when you shouldn't. All right, let's try this. That's a win. Should I land?
I'm gonna sort it out real quick. I think it's the kill switch wire is shorting.
The thermals are holding me up and not like letting me get down. But that's fine. Motor's reliable. And I think I might actually put it over here closer to the tarmac. Yeah, I think I like that more. Oh, it's flatter over here. I'm gonna go over here. Actually want to be a little higher on my straight in approach. I'll take that. Ooh, I'm landing in this ditch. Nice, Woody. And kill it. That was picture perfect. Now let's see what kind of help my friend needs.
Oh, it's on. I have an update. So over there is Gabe on his top 80. It won't start. We have a problem. We've been working on it for at least an hour and I don't know, it's just not going. We're not sure what it is. There's something to do with a shorting kill switch and then something to do, they thought it was over flooded and no one seems to know. But the deal is we're running tight on time. So I think we're gonna be a man down and he's gonna like call his wife and get picked up because the rest of us won't make it to the beach if we don't send it soon. That's what's up.
Future Woody here. This is Gabe's exhaust. You can see it's got a big split in it. You may not have a visual on it, but it's about a foot long. It's not. Look, we had a big water crossing coming up, and his machine wasn't idling well, and its exhaust was wrecked, and it would have been a terrible decision to try to do a water crossing, which is kind of deadly, with this paramotor. So he's going to fix it, get it airworthy, maybe sell it after that, and upgrade.
So I've got a real short runway. We're leaving Gabe behind. His motor won't run. What I'm going to try and do is inflate nicely into the wind, turn left slightly, and take like a little bit of a crosswind takeoff. Let's see how this goes. That works. All right. Kill this motor for you. So today is going great. I'm about 2/3 to the beach, about 2/3 our way through the flight. We have one more stop to make for fuel, and then we'll gas up, and then we do our water crossing, which is probably the riskiest part of the trip. It's a little turbulent, but you know that the way that the official guide talks about turbulence, it talks about wingtip collapses and stuff. And something about that Speedster too, it doesn't do wingtip collapses. It's just not interested. So my own turbulence measure, if I have a hard time keeping my heading, if I have to constantly correct it just to stay on course, then it's pretty bad out. And it's not that bad. So little midday bumps, but it's confidence inspiring. My equipment is working, my wing is working, everything is hit. I'm hitting my launches and landings. You expect to, but I got that foot that's healing, and I have some extra weight in my 2-stroke oil and clothes and stuff. At my house, a normal launch is no wind at all and slightly uphill. So today has had these, 3-mile-an-hour headwinds and flat, sometimes even downhill. It's just easy. It's so easy compared to what I'm accustomed to. So there's a gas station. It's even part of a marina or something. So it's right on the edge of the sound there. It makes it really easy to navigate. But I should start up and get some altitude. All right. So this is our last stop aside from actually being there. It's our last fuel stop, I guess I'll say. I think the gas station is that BP thing, and this field behind it is the LZ. So the field looks good, not really manicured, which is what I want. I want it to be like a golf course for my bad foot. I could try landing on the road. It looks like it's just gravel. I am too high. S turning. down, I think. Oh shit, bad job, bad job. All right, I'm here. Not my best landing.
Woody's going in for the landing. Oh, there's a ditch. Nailed it though.
Well, I'm down, I'm safe. Mark is down, he's safe. Ross is a few minutes back. Let's fuel up. All right, we have a problem. I did the navigation for this, and none of the satellite photos really showed me this problem. I tried standing on this, and I feel like my balance is good enough, but if I'm not too heavy now, I'll be too heavy for the walk back. There's another one over here where Ross is, but it was like super swampy on the way to it. So I started looking for a better one. Ross has got it. Oh, shucks. So it's already swampy over here. Ho ho ho! Not bad. All right, let's buy some gas.
High octane, ethanol free. You're dangling.
Got the camera going. If I'm gonna bust my ass, I want it on tape. Haha. All right, Mark's gonna bust his ass. I want that on tape too.
Nailed it.
The fuel stop was amazing, by the way. They treated us like celebrities. They all came out of the store, and the police came by. He said he'd have blocked the road for us if there weren't all those power lines, which is kind of neat. All right. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a good dig. Get this wing above me. Wish me luck. I think the belt's slipping. I didn't get full power. I need to get that sorted.
All right, future Woody here. Something went wrong with my audio. It's just a bunch of clicks and beeps. But what happened was he put me in his pickup truck and he drove me back there to his shop, which you just saw on the right a second ago. And now he's driving me back to the field. What I needed was an 8mm Allen key and a 6 and a 4 and some others. But what we didn't have was the 8. So rather than like piece one at a time, he threw me in the back of his truck and drove me over to his shop. My hand there, it's my right hand, is holding my paramotor. And this is like a big deal to me. Like I've watched other people do like cross-country adventures or Icarus, and they have these experiences where like kind-hearted locals give them a ride in the back of their truck. And now I've done that. And I'm almost glad that I had that belt slippage failed launch thing, because I got to do this. I got to meet this guy.
This guy is awesome.
And he was awesome. He didn't owe me anything. He didn't know me. He just thought paramotors were interesting, saw a guy who needed help, and lended him his tools and gave him a ride. And like, sometimes when people are that nice to me, I think to myself, like, I hope I'm as good a man as he is. Like, that's the kind of person that I aspire to be. So anyway, kind stranger whose name I've since forgotten, thank you for being you. You saved my day and made my trip more than I thought it was going to be.
All right. Sorry about the audio. Sorry I missed the launch. I really wanted a great video, but I was in a super hurry, and you know, this aviation took priority. I've got about a 45-minute flight, and I have about 45 minutes to make it. My friends left already because it was running tight. So here I go, trying to catch up. I'm gonna hop on the speed bar and just rock and roll. All right, that was wildly successul. What do you have? Did you just find something?
Yeah, I found a lighter.
This is Mark Honeycutt. He has a YouTube channel too, and we just flew from Raleigh to Kitty Hawk. He landed at the airport, I landed at the beach, and it was awesome. It wasn't this dark when I landed. I left my helmet at the beach, and that's what I'm talking to right now. Oh my God. I can't believe we did it. And then, like, everywhere we land, people make such a big deal out of paramotors. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. That's cool.
Where'd that crowd come from that you had? Oh my gosh, this is great. These guys have a huge crowd. What's up? Oh my gosh. Like
this one?
Yeah.
They saw the
fraternity was out here.
They saw Ross's light show, and then like they're all drinking heavy. And they want to wear the paramotors. Like, it's his birthday. Let him try the paramotor on.
Did you get a picture with it?
The picture came out great. Awesome. Yeah, the picture was awesome. We're staying here at Nags Beach Hotel, and I don't know. That might be a wrap for this part of the vlog. I'm getting texts. Wait, there's more. We're going out to dinner at the Thai Room in Kitty Hawk, I guess? Is that where we are?
Yep. Kill Devil Hills, Kitty Hawk? Yeah.
All right. We're gonna get food. So here's the scoop. The weather report said tomorrow was gonna be unflyable. So we did what any reasonable pilot would do, and we looked for more weather reports until we found one that said tomorrow was okay. So now we've got these carts, and we're pushing it to an Exxon station. I wanted this scene. I've seen it on the internet. People using hotel baggage carts to push their paramotor to the gas station. Something about that was an adventure that I've wanted to have for months now. Check out Ross's blue lights. Filling up.
Blue light special, Kmart.
All right, let's put some gas in.
We've decided to call it quits. It is 25-mile-an-hour winds, gusting to 30. I went to the beach this morning at 6 a.m. and I literally could not see because the sand was blowing in my face. I was like, if I can't see, I probably shouldn't take off. So we've decided to call it quits. Ross has his van on the way with a friend, and we're gonna go get some pancakes, which sounds great. I think we're making the right decision here.
Oh, I accidentally hit the record button. But hey, so it's windy out, we're not flying, and the next best thing to having a paravan is having a friend with a paravan. I'm here, we got Mark, Ross, and Chris. And we're on our way to breakfast, because we can't fly.
Do you guys like that?
So what happened was, we went to the airport, we were gonna drop off Mark, and I don't know, it just seemed like such a fun day, time to go flying. We're gonna lay out, do something cool.
I'm not about to start this on the ground. That's not why I'm supposed to start it on the ground. I wasn't about to do that.
It's dangerous to start on it. That's questionable decision making. Pilots with questionable decision making don't get old.
See if I can follow him a little bit without dying. Oh, going right through his stuff. Not cool. This is weird. Woo-hoo! Cray cray.
All right. So I've flown around for 2 hours, mostly just doing wingovers and asymmetric spirals again and again and again, practicing. I'll turn the motor off, but I can't talk long. There's my house right there. The ceiling's really low today, but the colors on the trees have been super cool. It's a nice flight. I'm in my long johns, which turned out to be a really good call. It's cold. I'm happy to be home. It feels like a triumphant return. I'm still getting used to landing so heavy. With all my gear and mixed oil and stuff, but it should be fine. Fuck. Well, that sucked.
I feel like a noob messing up my landing. I flared too high, and I did that. I know why, because I was trying to land super duper soft. Before I hurt myself, what I would do is I would come in low and kind of drag my feet across the ground. But worst case scenario is you have to run that out kind of fast and hard. And anyway, I'm just getting it back. What can I tell you? I'm still getting it back. So it was awesome. I was really excited to have done this adventure. There are a couple things I wanted to check off. Refueling, meeting strangers back at the truck, mechanical issues to sort through, pushing hotel carts in the middle of the night to gas stations, and good friends. I was just really glad I did this. Really, really glad I did this.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind, that's the reason I'm spitting now.